Hello and welcome to Knit Cheek. My name is Natalie and I am the cheek behind Knit Cheek, and today you're watching a pattern roundup and knit along for a sweater for summer. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalie and I talk about knitting on the internet. You may notice that I am currently fighting a cold, so I may sound a bit more nasally than usual, but I'm going to do my best to keep the sniffles to a minimum and blow my nose off screen. But I'm really excited today to announce my first knit along, and that is a sweater for summer. And I am co-hosting this knit along with Chloe from Beans and Skeins. We are knitting sweaters for summer, and I'm going to go into a lot of details of what that means and how you can make that work for you. But we will be using the hashtag a sweater for summer. It will be from April 1st to June 30th. So we have a little bit of time here to figure out what you want to knit and what yarn you would like to knit with. Me especially, I need to figure out what I want to knit for my own knit along, because I'm just so excited about this knit along and so many of the patterns that I can't quite decide on which one that I want to knit. So what is a summer sweater? And this is kind of going to be different for everyone. What you may consider a summer sweater may be different from what I consider a summer sweater. This can depend on where you live and also what you're comfortable wearing in a warmer time of year. For me, I feel like I probably wouldn't wear a heavy wool sweater in the middle of summer, but I know that if you're living in parts of Europe or northern parts of the world, that's doable. So this is going to vary per person on what you're comfortable wearing in the warmer time of the years. I personally probably wouldn't get away with wearing a wool sweater in the middle of summer here in Southern California because it does get pretty warm. But that being said, I mean, we live relatively close to the beach and to the mountains, which can be breezy and cooler, especially at night. So if you want to knit a wool sweater, that can be a summer sweater. But I'm going to go over a lot more of a traditional idea of a summer sweater. So summer sweaters knit in plant fibers, or lighter weight sweaters, or Lacy and loose gauge knit sweaters, and give you lots of ideas of what you can knit for this knit along. Before I jump into the patterns, the way that you will enter this knit along is on Instagram, and you can tag both me, Knit Cheek, and Chloe, Beans and Skeins, and then use the hashtag a sweater for summer to be entered to win some prizes. We're gonna do prizes for each month of the KAL, so there'll be one for April, May, and for June. Disclaimer about giveaways: we will be announcing any winners for this giveaway on YouTube, so if anybody emails you or tries to get your information, I know there's a lot of scams out there when it comes to giveaways. I personally have never experienced this, but I've heard about it, so just quick disclaimer there that we're never going to email you. We're going to be announcing it on our YouTubes and or Instagram. Works in progress and double dipping are totally fine for this knit along. So if you are already working on a sweater, you want to start it before the knit along officially starts, you can totally do that. Also, if you are currently participating in another knit along, which I know there are a lot going on at this time, so if you want to double dip, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Can you quiet? You can sit, but you need to be quiet. The only other technicality that I wanted to mention is that a t-shirt is technically a sweater. And I did a lot of thinking about this when I was coming up with the parameters of this knit along. I went back and forth, and I just decided that one of my suggestions for this knit along is going to be to shorten the sleeves of a sweater to make it more summer friendly. And that's like a t-shirt. So t-shirts are usually the same construction as knit sweaters. So in my mind, I think a t-shirt is a sweater. If you want to knit a t-shirt for this knit along, go for it. Tank tops, though, are not sweaters. So tank tops are a no. But t-shirts are okay. Chloe and I have no interest in being KAL police for this, so we want as many people to join the knit along as possible, and so we are trying to make it as easy as possible for y'all to join. I'm going to link 2 Ravelry bundles in the description below, mine and Chloe's. Chloe's has more than mine does because she's an overachiever, but both of those will be linked down in the description, and those have more patterns that I'm going to be going over today, just because I don't want this to be a really long video, but I'm going to go over quite a bit of them today as well. Peaches has joined us, and she has kind of disabled me to be sitting over here because of the way she's sitting. Yeah, you can see her. I wonder if you can hear her purring. Can you like tone it down? So the simplest way to join this knit along will be to knit a sweater. So you can knit any sweater, or you can knit a pattern for a sweater that's specifically designed for summer. And so I have a couple of examples here of that. And the first one that I'm going to suggest is Yarden by Amy Christoffers, and this is an eyelet cardigan. It is knit in DK yarn Barocco Zinnia, which is 93% cotton and like 7% other things. This is a size inclusive pattern, and I feel like it's like right on brand of what we were talking about. It's perfect for summer. I wear 2 cardigans constantly all year round around the house, and that's changing as I start to make more garments. But those 2 cardigans are both cotton, and they're both kind of like loosely knit cardigans, store-bought knit, but they're very holey and breathable, so they're really easy for me to wear. Even on a warm day, I'll throw them on like over a tank top. That way, if I'm like in an air-conditioned room or what have you, I have like this layer that's really easy to take on and off, and I feel like the Yarden cardigan is a perfect example of that. Next up, I have the Ingrid Summer Sweater by Georgia Fibers, and this is a beautiful eyelet pullover drop shoulder sweater. It's knit in a sport weight yarn by Georgia Fibers, and the yarn is called Field. It is 43% other, 37% cotton, and 20% silk. It goes up to a finished bust of 62.4 inches, and it has been in my Ravelry favorites for a very long time. This and the Ingrid top are both things that I have been eyeing for quite a while. This was kind of what I was thinking I would make for this KAL, but since putting together this video, I feel like I'm more indecisive than ever. Like, there's a lot of other things that I'm leaning more towards now than the Ingrid sweater, but this is a great option. My third and fourth recommendation for an already ready to go summer pattern are both by Rebecca Clow, and all of her patterns are always size inclusive, and that is the Corin cardigan, and this one is knit up in Cascade 220 worsted, which is 100% wool. There's a long sleeve and a short sleeve version of this pattern. I actually own this pattern, so it is also a contender for this knit along, and it's an eyelet cardigan. I'm not sure how like the eyelets are actually constructed, but it is a round neck or like a straight neck cardigan. Even though it's knit with 100% wool, like I said, like this can still be a summer sweater. It's nice and holey and breathable. And then she's from Edinburgh, Scotland, so I'm sure that it's a lot cooler there, and she's able to wear these things in the summer more so than like if you live in Palm Springs maybe. But the Corin cardigan, she has pictures and sample pictures of both short sleeve and long sleeve versions. So if you think the long sleeve is too hot with that wool, you can easily make a short sleeve, or you can substitute the fiber out for something lighter. The next one is also by Rebecca Clow, and that is the Sauna cardigan, which is also size inclusive, and she's using the same wool in this, which is Cascade 220 worsted, which is 100% wool. And she also has a short sleeve and a long sleeve version of this cardigan. They're both very similar, like Lacy cardigans, round neck, button up. They're really versatile with the short version versus the long sleeve and that open, airy texture all over the cardigan. Okay, so number 5 is the Rhoda Jumper by Irene Lynn, and this goes up to a 63-inch finished bust circumference. It is knit up in an Aran weight yarn, which is cotton braid from Stitch and Story. It is 94% cotton and 6% other. This pattern has also been in my favorites for a while. I really love Irene Lynn's patterns, and this one's no different. It's a kind of an open neck, really holey drop sweater with balloon sleeves. I think this would be perfect for summer, even though it's an Aran weight, so it is a heavier weight sweater. She is knitting this with like almost 100% cotton, so it's going to be light and easy to wear like on a summer night or at the beach in the summer, on a windy day. Just so many options on like how to make these sweaters work in warmer times of the year. My next 2 patterns are by James and Watts, and the first one is his rib lace raglan, and that is knit up in fingering weight by Pearl Soho Santolina. That is 70% cotton, 20% rayon from bamboo, and 10% cellulose. And this has also been in my favorites for forever. I love the rib lace raglan. And I just feel like it would be really versatile. Like I can see wearing this in the peak of summer. Like it would be a really cute top because it's so airy. You can wear it with like a tube top underneath of it or like a cute bralette. If you're really someone who overheats easily, you can make the short sleeve version, but I feel like I would love an oversized long sleeve version of this that's like a little bit cropped that I could wear with jeans. Would be perfect for the summer. On that same note, he has another pattern, the dropped lace raglan, and that is knit up in fingering weight ritual dyes Undine, which is 60% cotton and 40% cellulose, which is linen / flax. And this sweater is so perfect for summer. Like it's so airy. You also get the choice of making a short sleeve or a long sleeve version of this sweater. I also love the idea of cropping this, a long sleeve crop version that's a little bit oversized. Both these patterns are size inclusive. I'm pretty sure all of his patterns are always size inclusive because he's a real one. So those were my picks for sweaters that are already designed to be like summer sweaters or summer wears. And now I'm going to go over some sweaters that are really lacy, open gauge, really breathable, but aren't necessarily like what you would think of to be a summer sweater, but I think would be a really versatile, something that you can wear from season to season, and especially if you're looking into subbing out a fiber that can be really summer friendly. So I'm calling these my Lacy sweaters. And the first one that I'm recommending, I think is a somewhat newer pattern, and that is the lace loop sweater by Other Loops. This one goes up to a 57-inch finished bust circumference, and it is knit up in a worsted weight. The sample is made with like a fingering wool and a lace held together. So not necessarily what you would think for summer, but because it has the lace like eyelets in it, I think that it could be worn maybe on the shoulders of that season, or if you live in somewhere where it doesn't get too hot, or if you sub out the fiber for just a worsted weight that is more cotton based instead of holding like two very warm yarns together. I love the striping detail on top of the texture. This is definitely like one of my favorites that I put on here. Next is the Oleander by Audrey Borrego, and this is a size inclusive pattern, and it's also a free pattern. All of her patterns have recently become free on Ravelry and are available for download. This sweater is designed for a sport weight yarn, and she is using Eco Puno Lana Grossa, and that is 72% cotton, 17% wool, and 11% alpaca. So this is actually a really nice yarn blend. I don't know how easy it is to find. I love this sweater. This sweater is so beautiful. It's a V-neck with like the most gorgeous lace, drop shoulder. It kind of has a balloon sleeve, and I saw a project where someone modified it to be more of a straight sleeve, which I think would make it more wearable for me personally. I think this is a great option for summer. I would love to see somebody knit this, and I'm thinking about knitting it myself. I know this is a top contender for Chloe as well, and we both were like looking at all of Audrey's patterns and just admiring like how great of a designer she is. Number 3, I have the Mozart pullover by Caitlin Hunter, and this is a size inclusive pattern, and it is designed with Aran Weight yarn, Lavender Loon Yarn Co. in fluorescent worsted, which is 70% cotton, peanut cotton, and 30% wool. And this is a really interesting yarn to me to see like a cotton wool blend at a worsted weight. And I think this is exactly what I was picturing when I was thinking of like lace cables for summer. It is a heavier weight, but I do think that it could still work because of the cotton aspect and also the holes that are in it. There aren't as many holes as some of the other sweaters on here, but there are still some. A beautiful like mixture of cables and lace to bring like something that you love knitting sweaters for, like I feel like in the fall and the winter, and being able to work that into the warmer months as well. So number 4 on my Lacy sweaters list is the Flory by Nadia Cretin Lechien. How do you say that? Lechienne? This is a size inclusive pattern, and it is designed in a sport weight yarn in this French yarn that is 100% wool. It is very French sounding. I'm going to give this my best go. Maybe me being cold and nasally will help my French accent. Et je vous prie, nuage, toi fille, l'année brino. From L'année Paysanne. Okay, Everyone who speaks French is probably laughing at me now. This is another drop shoulder lacy cardigan. I don't know what to call this texture. It's like very diamondy, I want to say. And then it has these eyelets, lace details that are beautiful. And the sport weight will definitely make for just an easy summer sweater. She does knit this in 100% wool, and I think I would probably do it like in a wool cotton blend. I definitely think this is doable. Like, you can definitely make this work. Next up on my list is the Acorn Pullover by Sari Nordlund. This is a size inclusive pattern, and it is designed in a DK weight yarn. She is holding like a fingering and a lace in this one, which is definitely a warmer fabric, but that can easily be subbed out for another type of DK weight, maybe a blend, maybe just wool, so it's not so warm. And it's a beautiful all over lace cable design, and I love the details. I love the collar, I love the ribbing, and I like the boxy fit of it, boxy cropped with long sleeves. It's definitely like what I envisioned for this KAL for me personally. So this is one of my contenders for sure, is the Acorn Pullover. Next up is the Salty Days sweater, and that is by Veronica Lindberg, and it is a size inclusive pattern, and she is knitting this in Double Sunday, which is a DK 100% wool yarn. And this isn't one that I would think of as being summer friendly just looking at it. Like it looks like a fall winter sweater to me, but it does have this like eyelet lace piece going along here, which made me think of it like could work for like the shoulder seasons, or if you were to sub out the yarn, it could work as well. So those are all the patterns I'm going to talk about in this video. I have more, and Chloe has way more in her Ravelry bundles, so definitely check those out. I'm going to go over some other ideas that you can do to make any pattern summer friendly. Originally, we thought about calling this KAL Make It Summer KAL. I don't know, it just evolved into a sweater for summer. But part of what we really wanted to stress was like making patterns more summer friendly. This is just part of like knitting. I feel like some people can slow down in the warmer seasons because it's just uncomfortable to knit like a heavy wool sweater. This isn't for everybody. Obviously, some people are fine with it, but our idea was to just make patterns that you already love summer friendly. So here are some suggestions. You can shorten the sleeves of your sweater or your cardigan to make a short sleeve sweater or cardigan, and this becomes a little bit more summer friendly and a little bit more breathable by still giving you like a layering piece to like give your outfit something knit. You can knit a sweater in a lighter weight yarn like fingering or sport, and like me personally, I don't know if I'm at the point in my life where I'm ready to knit a fingering weight sweater, but if you are, there's no time limit on this KAL. I mean, there is a time limit on the KAL, but you don't have to finish your project to win a prize. It's just a KAL where we were trying to get people to knit a sweater for summer, so whips are welcome and you do not have to finish to win. So if you want to take on the very brave task of knitting a fingering weight sweater, go for it. Knit an open gauge sweater. So there are lots of examples of this. I've seen like mohair sweaters that are really open gauge, and like cute girls who are wearing them with like tube tops, and this is a great example of something that like really isn't a summer yarn like mohair, but if you knit it with a really large gauge, it all of a sudden can be, and that is a great idea for this KAL as well. Knit a t-shirt. Like I said, t-shirts are technically sweaters, and we are not policing that here. You're more than welcome to knit a t-shirt. Lastly, you can swap out fiber for a pattern that is typically knit in wool, like using a plant-based fiber. There are tons out there, like cotton, there's like bamboo rayon mix, linen, or you can knit it in a merino cotton blend. Obviously acrylic, I don't know why I forgot to put that in there. I know a lot of people don't like knitting with acrylic. I've never personally knit with acrylic, so I don't know, but that's an option as well. I haven't introduced Peaches. This is Peaches. She's my very loud calico cat, just meowing throughout this entire, she's been meowing. She wants to go outside, but it's raining and it's cold and rainy here in California. I'm still looking into if we are going to start a Ravelry forum for this knit along. Honestly, I don't know how to do that, but I have looked into how to do it. If that's something that you're interested in, if you're not on Instagram and you still want to be part of this KAL, let me know and I will definitely look more into hosting a Ravelry forum for this as well. Or if you have any insight of why it would benefit to do both, let me know, because it's something that I'm kind of like not sure if I need to do or not. Instagram is a lot easier with the hashtags, and I feel like that would be fine, like as a knit along, but I'm open to the idea of opening up a Ravelry forum as well. So that is everything that I have for y'all today. Let me know what you are thinking about knitting if you plan on joining the KAL, and what yarn you are thinking about using. Please, I need yarn suggestions, so please send those over to me. To repeat myself, the KAL runs from April 1st to June 30th. The hashtag is a sweater for summer, and tag Knit Cheek and Beans and Skeins to be entered to win prizes. Thank you so much for watching today. I have lots of upcoming videos planned. Hopefully I can kick this cold in the butt and get back to like a regular filming schedule, because I'm not sure how like annoying I'm gonna sound in this video. I'm so looking forward to this knit along and seeing what y'all come up with to knit and your ideas. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.